Welcome back to KMOT First News at 10. I'm John Jacklin. A busier than usual Monday night for A and B hoops with a combined 14 games across boys and girls with our area teams. Let's open with Nedrose hosting Hazen. Early first, Bison lead 2-0. Lily Nelson controls this pass with one hand, gathers and fights through two defenders for the bucket in the paint. Other end now, great action from the team in green. Ava Youngers hits the cutting Lauren Dahl between the numbers, and she makes the layup. Cardinals leading by one. Ashley Roberts on the wing has just enough time to get off this shot and takes full advantage. First three-pointer by either team up to that point, and this was one of the closest games of the night. Cardinals hold on to win by 2. Up to 16th Avenue as Harvey Wells County visits the home of the Knights. We pick up early in the third. Terrific ball movement from ORCS. Doesn't result in a three, but it does result in Lauren Strom being rewarded for her box out, one of a handful of the sophomores' offensive boards. Knights pressing full court. Summer Hogg spots Rachel Nemuller in acres of space. She has all the time in the world for this three-pointer. Our Redeemers forcing this game to be played at all 94 feet. Caden Braun dashing down the floor, rifles to Noelle Pankratz, who converts the layup. Knights back in the win column after Saturday's loss to Kenmare Bowbells. Elsewhere in girls hoops, Royals continue to roll through their recent schedule. Turtle Mountain, new to receiving votes in the polls, score 84 in a win over Newtown. North Prairie gets a road win in Dunseith. And this was the other two-point game of the night. West Hope Newburgh over the Aggies. Bishop Ryan wins a two-possession game at the home of the Raiders, and Partial defends home court versus White Shield. Two boys, tough matchup for rugby against the two-seeded Firebirds. Newtown falls to Beulah by 13. Troopers win in Hazen, and elsewhere in B, Bishop Ryan, St. John, and Powers Lake, Burke Central all register wins. Well, after a terrific regular season, the Viking season comes to an end in the wild card round. Rams win in Arizona 27-9. Sam Darnold was sacked 9 times, and Justin Jefferson was held to just 5 catches for 58 yards. Rams move on to Philadelphia. Well, in lighter football news, the 2025 season for Minot State football will be its 100th season, and the team released the fall schedule over the weekend. The year begins with 2 challenging road tests, starting with a non-conference game against Emporia State on August 28th. In 2024, the Hornets had the second best passing offense in the nation, and based on how the Beavers like to pound the rock, this will be a contrast of styles in Week 0. The Beavers' first NSIC matchup is against the reigning national semifinalist Minnesota State before their home opener and homecoming game against Concordia St. Paul on September 13th. Next year's schedule features 2 in-state rivalries renewed on October 11th. Minot State hosts a new conference edition. Jamestown, the Jimmies, and Beavers first played in 1927 and most recently in 2010. And then on the first day of November, MSU travels to the capital for the Battle of the Big Lake against University of Mary for the 32nd time. The Beavers wrap up the regular season at home against Minnesota Duluth on November 15th. So mark your calendars. We'll be right back.